Today, I want to test out all the gear sets. There's 3 damage gear sets. There's 1 damage gear set that does derivative damage, so we're not going to worry about that. We've got one that we've always used with the gambler set to where we do additional hits, or anytime we do an attack, we get a chance to do damage. So if you have additional hits, like this guy has 3 hits on his ultimate, 2 hits on his battle skill. He's going to give himself 2 ice crystals every ultimate, so the damage should be the same. Like, no matter how many times we run him through, the damage will always be the same with a 100% crit rate. And he's going to give himself critical damage or crit rate buff. Where's it at? Where's that crit rate buff? Right here. An additional 20% chance to trigger a crit hit on this skill, and the same with his ultimate. So actually, his basic ability is only going to have an 80% chance to crit with this kind of gear. I think we're going to have to change him up a little bit. Because really, we don't really care about... We're not trying to get max damage out of an actual hero. We're trying to compare 3 gear sets. Then we've got the other gear set like this one here that does additional damage based off of every time you do a battle skill or ultimate, you get the 8%, stacks up to 4 times. And then we've got the other gear set with the difference in attack. If we have higher attack than the enemy, we're going to do more damage. You got to go to sleep, G? Oh, man. Well, thanks for hanging out for a couple minutes. Appreciate you coming by. The beer's looking sharp. Hey, man, appreciate it. My wife doesn't even like looking at me. What are you talking about? We're just gonna grow it out crazy. My mom said that she likes it when it's short, just a really trim, barely any beard, the stubble, right? Stubble. My wife doesn't like any hair. My dad has had a beard. My dad has had a beard all his life, so my dad doesn't care. He doesn't mind. He said if I grow it out a little bit longer, then it won't even itch anymore, you know. So we'll just keep growing it out and see what happens after maybe 6 months. Try to shape it into something cool and then get rid of it. We've never had a crazy beard before. So I really want to know what gear is going to affect us. You know, we're trying to do damage on all the bosses. We're trying to do damage on the Vortex boss, but which gear is actually the best gear for different situations? So I'm interested to find that out. Because I haven't seen any gear testing, right? Where they actually put the gear up against the other, you know, all the other gear that we have to do damage out there. Okay, let me get to a Google document that I use. What is it, Google Sheets? That way I can keep some information. And this gear that I have on him right now, I know it's going to be too strong for me to be able to find the 2 other gear sets for me to be able to replicate what I have here. I'm not going to be able to do it very easily. Where is this? Let me save this set. All right, now we've got... We'll have to change this set a little bit. This is the set to where when he does his ultimate or battle skill. Okay, inventor set. Do we have attack percentage? Attack percentage, critical damage. We're going to have to go with crit rate. And then try to get close to that. Whatever stats, whatever final stats we have here, we'll try to get close to that. So crit rate on any piece, actually. We can use the same... That's good. We can at least use one same piece of gear. Let's let it be this one. Okay, 100% chance to crit. So we're looking on the other gear sets, we're looking for 4,413 attack, 165 critical damage. We should be able to get somewhere around there. Let me take a picture of this. Let's get over here to Google Documents. So what's new? Did you guys find out anything interesting while I was sleeping last night? We did a long stream yesterday, almost 6 hours. Anything new pop up? Did you see anybody do some cool testing? Or did you find yourself any kind of cool combination of heroes to do the chief challenges, the continental bosses that we have? All right, so if I take a picture of what we've got here. There we go. 4,000. Now with Bledin being at 100% chance to crit, okay, his damage should be the same, exactly the same every time we run him through. Because there's no variation with him. Like, he's not giving himself a random ice crystal sometimes. So it should always be the same because he's only getting 2 additional when he does his ultimate.
Why, what's the trouble?
Okay, HP lead doesn't matter. All right, let's see what we get. And then after we test this gear on the test dummy, we're going to have to go test it against some of the bosses because that one gear that does a difference in attack, we need to see what it's like because different bosses have different attack, obviously. So we need to see what it's going to be like against bosses with that attack gear. Because who knows what the dummy's got? We don't know any kind of attack rating that the dummy has. Maybe not much at all, maybe a lot. I can't tell you. All I do know is that the dummy has more defense on this level 1 dummy than the Vortex boss has on the level 4 Vortex boss. I know that for a fact because we've done a lot of testing with this before, and we do less damage with a full team on the target dummy than we do on a level 4 Vortex boss. You're new and it's very useful. Hey man, appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, you're new, so you're on season 1. You've got a long ways to go before you get to where we're at. It's going to be a long time, but at least all my older videos, you can watch any of those. They should be able to help you out. I mean, they will help you out. They're all from season 1, progressing all the way throughout the season and then attacking everything that you see that comes up. Wolfheart, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. I talked to Wolfheart on Discord. I'm trying to get RNG with Jorn fight. I got 22 million on the, actually I got 26 million on the Jorn fight for some lucky reason. And I thought I saved it. This is on my main account. But for some, I didn't save it. I don't know. I guess I hit back out and I had to do it again. And it took a long time for me to get 22 million, you know, after multiple tries. Yeah, but I was using all legendaries on Jorn. This is from my main account. On my main account, I got 22 million so far. One with Jorn doing all my Radiant legendaries and the other one with Frost Blast. Which was pretty easy because I have a lot of Frost Blast heroes that I use on my Vortex team. I just put them in there, 22 million. Now I need one more boss. I don't know how I'm going to do the rest of the bosses. Here's the thing. I don't need to though, right? All I've got to do is get 11 million. I've already done 40 gold dice. As long as you do 40 gold dice, 11 million on each boss, you're fine. All I've got to do is get 11 million on my main account. But some of those bosses seem like they're hard to get even 11 million. Fire is easy. Which one is the fire one? Who takes fire damage? You started playing season 2, but I made my account a while ago because of Mobile Gamer. Okay, nice. So you're on season 2. Do you have a decent roster? Were you able to get some heroes before you went over to season 2? 23 million, congrats. Lucinia fight strat. I don't know the Lucinia fight strat. Lucinia, I don't have a lot of poison damage dealers. Now I do have Urgander to apply decreased attack up on her a lot. I had high resistance when I went in there and tried that fight. I didn't resist very many of the freeze because she's always applying freeze, which I didn't think was a big deal. And then she doesn't do that bounce attack, her passive with her bounce attack, because I've only got Urgander up there. I don't know. I just didn't have a lot of poison damage dealers, so I'm not sure what we can use for that. I don't have any of the legendary cool poison damage dealers. Poison really doesn't put out a crazy amount of damage on its own anyways. Like the actual all of poison doesn't do crazy damage unless you have legendaries. So I'm not sure who we're going to use against her. Okay, on this one I got, hold on one second. Let me find my Google sheet here. Season 2, Stu Gaming. I'm gonna have to redo all of this stuff. Duplicate that. Okay, hold on one more minute for me. I'm just getting this so I can write down the numbers. All right, bled in here on the target dummy for 5 minutes. I'll write down what his gear is, like what his stats are. We did a total of, and I need to run this again just to make sure it's going to be pretty consistent. It should be the exact same number. 1799065. 1,799,065. This is Inventor.
They always complain the desolation of Northland.
And with this set, we've got a 100% chance to crit. 414, no, 4,413 attack, and then 165 critical damage. Okay, that's really all we need to pay attention to, because we'll get attack interval from some of the other sets once we put them on. That's part of their bonus. So that might change for that one set. We get crit rate with this set, and yeah, that's all we need. Those are the only stats I need. All right, let me run them through one more time. Just make sure we get the same number. Okay. All right, what's up? What did I miss? The fire guy, the fire summoner. The fire summoner is easy. You think he's easy? I don't think he's that easy. I think he is easier than the other ones that I've tried out, and I do need to bring up some of my wild team to be able to attack, to be able to fight him, because unfortunately, I leveled up a lot of burns. I leveled up my Durham, my Karf, my Horatius, and all that kind of stuff. Guys, I shouldn't have leveled up. I mean, they're cool for AoE, and it's cool that they're new because we need some AoE for the fire, all of the fire faction. But unfortunately, they're just not the best. And they're not that great on that boss either. Especially if you're melee. Like if you're using that melee epic, he just pretty much dies pretty quick. I don't know. I need we can get 22 million. But again, all I have to do is get 11 million on all the bosses. So I don't even know why I'm stressing it for myself. 11 million on all of them. I just need to make sure I can get 11 million on the other three. So eventually once a new boss unlocks next week and the week after and the week after, I can do all of them and get 11 million. That's really all I've got to do. Pretty easy, I think. Should be. At least with my roster, you know, right? Thinking it's going to be pretty simple. And I don't know about you guys all, but if we get 22 million, you just get one more fragment. That's it. One more lunar fragment. Instead of 4, we get 5. How important is that to everyone? I mean, seriously. Even if you got 5, like say you did 22 million on every single boss for the whole entire event, you would still need to summon, I think it was, I don't know how many shards was it? Was it like 15 or 10? 10 gold dice instead of, no, 20 gold dice. You'd still need to do, I think, 20 gold dice instead of 40. But the odds of you doing that, like if you're free to play or low spender or even kind of a whale, the odds of you being able to do 20 million on all of them, I think that's going to be very, very, very hard. It would be complete RNG dependent upon what heroes you have. If they don't bring brand new content for season 3, who knows? We keep asking them. We ask them in content creator chat all the time. Give us a roadmap. Let us know what your plans are for the game. What is your vision for everything? Come on. Let us know something. You know what? We did all that damage and we didn't even have our ultimate on. How sad is that? We didn't even have our ultimate turned on. Okay, there we go. Ultimate is on. So the rest of the last damage we did, we can scratch that off. That was not accurate. Okay, that's out of there. Repeat of season 1. We did get some new, you know, when you're on the continent and you go to those gates and you have that little area to where you get a buff and the enemies get a buff. I thought that was cool. Thought that was really fun, and I was sad that those were done so quickly. Like right when I got into doing them, I kind of blew through because I was strong, right? So I was strong, so I blew through each one. A few of them did give me a little bit of a challenge, which I thought was cool. I'd go in there and I'd get my buff and I'd have to re-roll that, or really I'd have to re-roll their buff because sometimes they got, you know, it was too good. They were doing too much damage immediately and I couldn't handle all that damage, so I had to re-roll what they would get. I think those were really fun. But there just aren't enough of those. You know, it doesn't last very long. And then we're not farming legendary gear soon enough, or at least to double the increased drop rate. So I'm not trying to focus on farming gear. I feel like they need to let us do that earlier. They need to increase the drop rate of legendary gear by like day 15 instead of day 30. There's a lot of things they can do, or a lot of things that I think that they would consider doing if they would listen. I got to tell you though, I don't think they listen at all. Zero. I don't think anybody over there is listening because we can't even get them to listen to us in content creator chat. So how are they going to listen to us, to the devs? Like, how is it going to get from us, from you guys and us to the community managers and then to the developers? I don't think that they care to listen at all. Even when we talked to them back in beta, they wouldn't listen to anything. So we'll just have to see what their idea is and what they want to do. And we keep asking them that exact question and we get no reply. Yo, what's going on, OP Gamer? How you doing? So what do you need the bosses if you're going to do the full 60? If you're going to do the full 60, what do you get? Do you get 60 fragments? I'll show you in a second. But when you go over to the event and you see where you can see Ardrith, and you see the 3 different little banners that tell you where you get the lunar shards from. Yo, I'm here, Inbringer. What's happening? Same issues, same bugs. A lot of heroes, same bugs too. Yo, what's happening? Good morning, good morning. Welcome everybody. Hey man, I'm doing great. We took yesterday off because it was Sunday. I was gonna come on, but then I woke up kind of late. And then I just decided not to come on here. But today's Monday, kids are at school, wife is at work. We've got all this week to be streaming. Just started Monday morning. We're going to test out some gear today. If you just made it, we're testing out some gear. I want to know out of the 3 damage dealing gear sets, which one can do the most damage? For different heroes, or really we're testing all 3 on a multi-hit hero right now. Bledin Bledin does give himself this buff, right? And on his battle skill, he hits 2 times. So if he's doing his battle skill twice in between his ultimate, those are 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits. He's got a 3-hit ultimate. Even when we put Gambler set on, it should do fairly well. So we want to see how that compares to the other 2 sets. And then we're going to have to take these 3 sets that we make and compare them and bring them into boss battles. Because I'm really curious, because the increased attack gear, I think that gear is very strong. But it's going to be different depending on what we fight. If we fight something with high attack, obviously we're not going to get as much return on it. We're not going to get as much damage done. So we're going to have to see which bosses it does well. So he pulled off 3,499,159.
It's not over yet. Charge! It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Oh man, how long have I been muted? I keep coughing in the morning. Like, it takes me a good 30 minutes of me streaming before I don't cough anymore from talking. What was I saying? I was talking about, oh yeah, 3v3. When you made that comment about 3v3 and how they don't listen, I was saying that they should have changed Arena a long time ago, because Arena goes for 3 minutes. But at a draw with Arena, defense always wins. And they should have made it like other games do. At the 2-minute mark, you've got 1 minute left. They should increase overall damage. Both side damage gets increased by 20%. Healing gets decreased by 20%. And then for that last minute, every 20 to 30 seconds, they increase that. A lot of games do this. That way, you get a definitive winner. There's not just a draw. Defense wins because they turtled the whole entire time. You don't have that. Each side gets that increased damage, so eventually somebody's going to die, and you get less healing. And I think that they should have done that a long, long time ago. Because they still, I mean, what did they do to Arena to help out with anything? They made it on 3v3 so that our fight ends quicker, which was smart for each battle, and that you can skip each individual battle. Before, we couldn't skip it at all. We had to fight all three the whole entire time. You couldn't just end one, you know, like 1 of 3, 2 of 3. You couldn't just end that battle. So they did make 3v3 better, I think. My issue with 3v3 is that I have to gear them up every season. And the seasons are kind of short. I mean, 3 months seems long, but they're kind of short in the sense that really it's only 2 months. Or even a month and a half, because for the first month, we don't have 3v3 open until I think day 15 or day 20. And we don't even have enough gear and good gear by then. So I'm not really interested in setting up gear because I'm still farming. Like even to this day, I'm still farming. At day 30 is when we get that increased drop rate. So I start farming. I've got decent gear, but I know I'm going to switch it out. So it's really annoying for me to go to 3v3 and gear out all my guys with gear. And then I only get a chance to really use it for a month and a half or 2 months. And then the process starts all over again. So for me, that's annoying. Increased damage, and they also didn't team's template. 3v3 it affects your 1v1 gear. Yeah, that shouldn't happen. You're right. And then with our, well, it's the same kind of concept with our guild versus guild. Guild versus guild right now, whenever it happens once a week, right? Where we fight against another guild and we have to pay attention to the gear that we have on. Well, we're always switching around gear to go fight whatever we're doing throughout the day. So when somebody comes and attacks me in guild versus guild, that gear is not specific to guild versus guild. They attack me and I'm switching around gear to go do all my daily stuff. Most times, whatever I put up for defense won't even have gear on when they attack me. So I think that's really weird. Okay, the same exact damage. 3,499,000, same exact, good. Okay, so this is what Bledden's got. So now I need to make 2 other of the 2 other DPS gear sets with similar stats to what he's got right here. With 4,400 attack, 100% chance to crit, which is easy, and then a 165 critical damage. What other gear set are we looking at? So we got the inventors. Now we can do gamblers, I guess. What does this piece have? This piece has 9 crit rate, well, 24 critical damage with no attack on here. So if we can find just like somewhere around 24 critical damage, we'll be set. Is that it? That's the exact same piece. What? No way. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, equip that. This one we have 16 critical damage. No, we have 26 critical damage. That's a lot. Maybe I should have made some easier sets. That's a lot of attack and not the critical damage I want. $31. Okay, we might be able to use that and then kind of downgrade some of our other stats maybe here. Take away some critical damage on the gloves. What do we need? 2 hits? I think we need 2 hits into critical damage to make it work. What was that? There's 2 hits. 25. 26. And a little bit of attack. So that's going to set it off a little bit different, but not too bad. It's a lot more attack. Is it because... Why is it so much more attack than we had before? No, it's less. We had 4,413. We've got 4,376. Our critical damage is at 163 before we had 165. So all these stats are a little bit less. Just a teeny bit less. I think we're okay. It's not that much of a difference. I mean, it will be over 5 minutes, but it's not crazy. It's pretty close. Okay, so for this one, we're going to have a 100% chance to crit. 4,376 attack. And 163% chance are critical damage. And this is gambler set. All right, let's see what we do. Because we're getting a lot of hits in here. We only got to run it once. See what we get. Okay, what'd I miss? Oh, there's a lot of chat. I missed a lot of stuff here. PvP takes too much time, not enough return. I think the normal PvP is fine. I get in there for the 1v1 PvP, and I do that every day. I'm trying to get enough tokens so that I can get that legendary artifact that we have in there. And it's not bad. Like, I go in there, I put up a weak defense, I drop back down, and then I just go in and do that. I kind of do that for 3v3. I just have some sloppy gear on my guys, and I just go in there just to get enough done to get some rewards. Changing gear in 3v3 is annoying. I agree. And I think it's very annoying, like I said, because of the seasonal stuff. So it makes me not want to do it. Because it's not like every 3 months I'm doing it. It's like every 2 months out of 6 months, 2 months, and then like a month off because we have to wait before we can farm good gear before I really want to do it. And 3v3 doesn't open up till a little later. Yeah, it gets kind of annoying. I do, Hellspawner. I said the same thing. I think they should activate that double drop rate, the increased drop rate sooner, like at day 15 instead of day 30. I agree. With the new seasons, the way we could see the season flow, and that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to wait to see how it was affecting us or how the game would flow. Take away the gates, let us farm legendary gear sooner, and I think it would flow much better. And we'd be better prepared for these chief challenges, the continental bosses to pop up. Yeah, all these issues were voiced during season. All these issues were voiced during beta and season 1. A lot of the stuff was voiced during beta, before season 1. Yeah. Your gear is garbage, right? Yeah, exactly, man. And you're not able to really equip and save good gear because your gear is garbage. So if we could farm gear earlier, we could have that set up, and then when 3v3 comes around, we could actually put some decent gear on there and not feel so bad about it. I've had to go back and farm Goblin recently, just in the last 2 days, because I've run out of experience pots. And I feel like I've leveled up a lot of heroes. So we got to go back in there. Yeah. Plus, we're play testing. We're testing things on the test server to see what works, and we see that, okay, this hero works really well. Then we want to level it up, so I've got to go get... And I thought I had a lot, because I've been living in Goblin for quite a long time. There was going to be another dungeon in Dragon Collab in Season 2. Another dungeon. I don't know about another dungeon, but there's going to be another collaboration, yeah. And they're going to have another collaboration boss, I'm sure. I'm sure it's going to run pretty similar to what we had before. The Dungeons & Dragons collaboration is for 2 years. They've already confirmed that a long time ago. 2 years. We had Drist. All they've talked about before is Elminster and Drist. So I'm guessing Elminster is going to be our next person that we're going to be able to go after. The Legendary, the D&D collaboration, which will start as soon as this current lunar event is done. That's what happened last season. I bet it starts as soon as this ends. And of course, we'll know about it earlier than that. They'll do a lot of advertising for it. But yeah, it's going to start right at... when's this lunar event end? In 20-something days? It'll start right then. You're saving your dice for that? What about the current one? What about Ardrith? I mean, Ardrith is nice. She's good, man. She's a good radiant tank healer, empowering your other heroes, giving you 100 resistance to your whole team, giving you 30% defense to your whole team. She's really strong. I would not pass her up if you can get her. Yo, Wapu, what's happening, buddy? Good vibes, man. Thanks so much for hanging out or coming by. I don't know if you're streaming today. Yeah, I don't know if you want to save your... I think Elminster is going to be really strong because he's going to be a ranged hero. It's not going to be a melee one like we had with Drist. Okay, so he did 3 point... That's weird. This is interesting. We will run the Gambler set one more time because remember the Gambler set is a 30% chance to proc that additional damage. So let's run it one more time and see what consistency we get with this. Because we got the same amount of damage with the Inventor set. And the Inventor set gives us that 8% additional damage whenever we do our battle skill or ultimate. So this is pretty... I would not have thought that the Inventor set would do... I would have thought that the Inventor set would do way more damage than this set. With him getting, what is it? Total of 32% additional damage all the time because he's always doing his battle skill leading into this ultimate. Well, he's not getting 100% uptime on all his Ice Blast because he's only giving himself 2 additional. It's not like we've got Shinna in here giving him 5 total stacks. 5 is the max stacks, and then he could be doing his battle skill over and over and over. I'm going to have to pay attention to it when I switch to his other gear. Because this is what we had on him.
They always complain the desolation of Northland, but never discover the joys.
Was it 81? Something changed here. We had a little different piece. Oh, we changed this piece. That's right. So this was not... This is what we had on him. Okay, let's... How do I edit the name? There? Okay, Inventor and Gambler. And then now we need to test out the... whatever the other set is, where we have the additional attack. All right. Let's try to see if we can find gear that kind of matches what we've got right here. About the new gear sets and how they perform. Stu, you should make... Yeah, of course, Hellspawner. That's why we do this, so we can make a video for YouTube about it. Of course, my man, always. Just like we did last season. I'm saving all the information right now. Now, we need to run him one more time with the Gambler set. Again, because the Gambler set, like this one is always going to be the same. Inventor, because whenever he does his battle skill or his ultimate, he gets the 8% increase. Although, I do want to see something really quick with this set. The Inventor set. Because I don't think we're at max stacks for sure. Like, I don't think we're at 4 stacks of the Inventor set all the time to give him that additional damage. There it is. We can see it on right now. 8% additional.
It's not over yet.
But only 1 stack. Now he's got 2 stacks up. 3 stacks. 4. It went down to 4 again. I mean, he's got 4 up right now for a pretty long time.
It's not over yet.
No, he's keeping 4 stacks up most of the time. If we had Shinna with him, sure, he'd be more consistent. But I don't know. It says 4 right there for quite a long time. It's lasting. It just drops down to 3 for a split second. No, that's good. It's good. I can trust those numbers. He is good. So even with the Inventor set, he only did 3.5 million. With the Gambler set, he did 3.5 million, 3.589. Like with the Gambler set, the first run we went through, he did... Because he's got so many attacks, right? He's proccing to do his battle skill, which hits twice. His ultimate hits 3 times, so he's getting a lot of chances to proc the Gambler set. Let's go back to the Gambler set and run it one more time. See what kind of variation we get. See if this comes out to 3.5 million, or did we get lucky? Did we roll high last time and get a lot of procs of the gambler, or did we roll low and we're going to get more damage? Let's see what happens. And then we just got one more set to test out. It was pretty easy testing out this set. Now we need to take all 3 of these sets and go test them against an actual boss, because it's only because of that one set though. If we didn't have this one set that did a variation in our damage with our attack versus their attack, we wouldn't have to go test it somewhere. But bosses do have different attacks. Plus, if we're doing decrease attack on that boss, will it increase our damage by a large amount? Are we already hitting that cap of that 200, whatever 200% additional it gives us? I don't know. There's a lot of variation with that, so we need to go test it. Codes. All the codes. I think those codes work. If you try those codes and they don't, let me know, because a lot of those are older now. I'm not sure all 1, 2. I should log into a brand new account and see if they work. I'm not sure how soon we can use codes. I'm pretty sure probably right away. Right when we start fighting and we go pick up Hexandra and we go over to the Child of Chaos, we should be able to enter codes in pretty quick. You already got your 60 summons? Oh yeah, that's right. Somebody's asking about the 60 summons. I'd have to look at... Let me have my tablet over here so I can tell you the numbers. What were the numbers? You said if you have 60 summons, which would give you 60, plus we get 90 for free, that's 140. Where'd my tablet go? That's not over yet. That's 140, right? So if you... No, 60? What did I say, 60? Yeah, 150. That's 150, so you need 50 more. How are you going to make up 50 more? I still think you're going to need pretty good... pretty decent on some of these. I still think on some of these bosses you're gonna have to do 11 million. I don't think with 60 summons you can go break it down to like 7 million. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but let's find out. Okay, so we fight 18 different bosses. We're gonna battle bosses 18 times. 3 for the first week, 4, 5, and then 6. All the bosses the final week. So that's 18 different attacks. You're gonna get 90 for free, and then you're gonna get your 60, I believe, from the summons you did. 150, and so we're missing 50. You got to make up 50. Let's see. Out of those 18, what was it? What was it for the lower level? I think it was like 4. 22 million gives us 5. 11 million gives us 4. What's the tier below that? 7 million gives us 3. And then what's below that? $3 million gives us 2. 7 million. Okay. So say you did 7 million. That's not over yet. 7 million gives us 3 each, so that's 18 battles times 3. 54. That would be all you need to do. Yeah, if you're going to do 60 summons, all you need to do is, yeah, you'd have 204. That's correct. Yep. I was looking on my, I was looking at the event on my tablet to try to figure out the numbers. Yeah, that's it. I think 7, and then on a few bosses, I wouldn't do very many. You could, 4 bosses, you could actually get 3 million on. Like 4 out of the 18 battles, you could get 3 million on. So that's 4 weeks. So say there's one that you're really lacking on that you barely have any heroes for. That one boss each week, you could get 3 million on. 4 weeks, that one boss, you could get 3 million on. The rest of them, you need to get 7 million, and you'd hit exactly 200 to be able to get the Ardrith, the legendary, if you did 60 summons. That doesn't sound that bad, but 60 summons is a lot, so it's not something that free-to-play is going to be able to do, you know, unless they saved up a crazy amount of summons. They could have. Some bosses are tough, you're right. I agree. I think they're a little overtuned, especially for somebody who's going to be free to play. Like, I don't know how free to play are doing. I'd have to ask some people. I have to ask like James or somebody. James has a pretty strong, like a really strong free to play account though. Okay, this time we did a little under. Second test. We did 3,436,753. Still, I'm still very surprised. Look at these numbers here. I'm still very surprised that with the Gambler set compared to the Inventor set, when he's got 4 stacks, getting 8% additional damage per stack from doing his battle skill and his ultimate, that he got 3.5 million. And then with the Gambler set, he's getting 3.5 to 3.4 because it's varied, right? Depending on the procs. Now, if we're capping out on the Inventor set, but if we have somebody give him more stacks of ice crystals so he can do his battle skill more often, those battle skills hit 2 times. So that would be more damage. I don't know. This is really surprising with me, but Bledin does hit a lot. He's got 3 hits on that ultimate and 2 hits on the battle skill. What does Gerthen have? Does she have multiple hits? On her battle skill, it does 2 hits, right? But her ultimate only hits 1 time.
When I was given a new life,
Twice.
I was already
Only once.
no other.
Okay, I think she's going to be... Gerthen, I believe, would be better off, or at least more consistent. We don't have to worry about the procs with the Inventor's set. But since our boy Bledin hits so many times, Gambler might do well. But I think Inventor is going to be the best for that, for sure. What's going on? What's kind of void? Some bosses are tough. Depending on your server, you might get ranked points. You can use what damage gloves? What is Gorit damage gloves? What's going on? What is the point of Inventor? I'm sorry. What's the point of Inventor? I'm missing the point of Inventor. Critical damage gloves? Why can you use critical damage gloves for Inventor? You're talking about because you get crit rate. You get 10% additional crit rate. Doesn't mean you can use Inventor's gloves, but I mean each set has their own advantage. Like Gambler gives you attack speed increase and stuff. Are you talking about the 10 crit rate you get from doing a 2-piece Inventor set? To the new document somewhere? It's at the bottom of every single one of my YouTube videos. I'll have to put it somewhere else, but there's not a lot of awesome information on here yet because we only had access to the test server for 7 days. So when I tested all these guys here for 7 days, they were all using the same gear. Like all these heroes here using the same exact gear against the test dummy. And you could see that these guys were doing really good damage, like extremely well AoE damage too, on their own. Solo, and then you can see we put them with somebody to try to enable them to do more damage. But we're going to do all new testing, basically, is what it comes down to. And you build Gambler for high attack? Either one. I don't think that's going to make a difference because you're only getting 10% additional crit rate, so that doesn't necessarily mean you can use critical damage gloves. That doesn't mean that at all. It's only 10% crit rate. It does help for sure, but I don't think that's... If you can build them that way, then we could build them both that way. Depending on what gear we have, we could build them. Like I could build Gambler with critical damage gloves. I can get enough. We'll get enough crit rate substats and all that kind of stuff. We will save ourselves 10% additional crit here, which does open us up to be able to do maybe a little bit more critical damage or attack. Just depends on your gear. But gauging by this right here, we can tell that it's very comparable. And since it's so close, the more consistent one for these type of heroes like Ice Blast is going to be Inventor. Because then we don't have to worry about the hits from Gambler. And we don't have to worry about somebody like Bledin. He's got multi-hits. Obviously for Girthin, we're going to keep Inventor on Girthin. It's way more consistent. You're right. We do get 10% chance to crit, which is very nice to help us out with gear. And we don't have to worry about the variation. Plus, Girthin doesn't do all the multi-hits that Bledin does, so she's going to do far better in Inventor anyways. Yeah. So I would not say that the testing is void. I would say that we learned quite a bit from the testing. What? No. It's not built around our attack being higher. The next gear set is built around our attack being higher. So we'll have to see how that is. Best on clan boss with Girth? I don't know yet. Oh, there's an ad? Okay, what's up, Legame? How you doing, buddy? I don't know yet. We got to test that other gear out. Let's go get the same kind of... Let's see if we can find the same kind of stats on that gear and test that gear out as well. We'll do it on the target dummy first, and then we'll go around and try it out on some bosses because there's going to be different attack on those bosses. A lot of different attack on those bosses. Who else we got? What is that gear set called? I have one of those crystals to upgrade a nice gloves. What crystals? The Reforge things? To take an epic glove into a legendary glove? Yeah. Do you? I don't know. I might have some of those on my main account. We'll go check out my main account in a little while because I do have some things I need to do. Okay, so this is the gear set we have for Gambler, right? Gambler. We have his Inventor, and now we've got to put on a set of Emperors. That's what it's called. Okay. So we're looking to get somewhere around 4,400 attack and 165 critical damage. Critical damage is 24. There we go. A little more attack on there. That's fine. This one is what? Critical damage of 25. 2 hits. Give me a 2-hit critical damage, please. Please? No. We've got a lot of pieces, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hit 2 hits here. Oh, man. Come on. There we go. 23. We got a little more of attack again. Okay, we're keeping similar stats. This one has 2 hits into critical damage and nothing else. I don't know what do we have? No, this just has crit rate on it. Is that right with the chest piece? Yeah, it just has a little bit of crit rate. Do I have... $161. Okay, we're a little lower on... critical damage. What happened to our crit rate, man? Our crit rate dropped.
Hey, Outlander from afar. Care to join me for a drink?
Our crit rate dropped a lot. Ah. Crit rate, critical damage. We got more critical damage here. Let's way more attack. It's harder to find this set. I need a little more crit rate. Crit rate 13, crit rate 12 with 18 critical damage. 8. And 15. What do we have on the other ones? We had 165 critical damage on the other two and 4,400 attack. So we're really low on critical damage here.
Hey, Outlander from afar. Care to join me for a drink?
Put that over there. All right. What's going on? You have some nice gloves. You had critical damage with triple crit rate on them. Really? Keep those, man. I wish you could keep them season to season. That's insane. Critical damage gloves with triple crit rate and crit rate. That's crazy. Maybe if we go with crit rate with a little more critical damage, but this already has 2 hits into it, so we're not going to get much more there. I think this is it. I think this is as close as we can get, but this is not very close. Maybe we can find attack with... No, that already has crazy critical damage. We can't lose any crit rate. I don't think we're going to find better. Nope. Skill haste. Might just have to settle for this. I'm sure most of these are not going to hit critical damage. One into each. All right, we'll have to try it with this. This is a lot less critical damage though. 25% less critical damage, but we are getting 100 more attack, which is good for this set, but overall that's a lot of critical damage less. That's a lot less critical damage. And per set. Okay, let's see what happens. Got his ultimate on? We do. Okay. All right. Can we get... And again, we don't know the target dummy's attack. Like, this target dummy's attack could be really high or it could be really low. It has really high defense. I know that. Higher than the Vortex Boss 4. Has higher defense than that one. Even this level 1 target dummy. But I have no clue what kind of attack it would have. Attack speed is so low. What's going on? What attack speed? Has anybody found any good teams for the other continental bosses that we didn't try yet? Wolfheart, did you find the link to the Google Documents? Anybody see any kind of cool teams? Now, we've been posting... Actually, I should probably check my Discord. People have been posting more and more teams over here. They got the exclusive burn guy. I don't have him. I don't want to use the exclusive burn guy. 11 million. I see a lot of them. 11 million teams on there. 17 million.
It's not over yet.
Why does it say 22 million burn versus wild? Free to play teams included. Lots of formations. Dragonheir. That's only 17 million. Still a pretty cool team for 17 million. That was not bad. 21 million with Felicity, Erich, and Dane. Okay, that makes sense, right? The wild teams seem to be doing better.
It's not over yet.
Critical damage equals to? Do we know what 100% critical damage equals to? Is it double basic hit, or what do you mean? If you have 100% crit rate and you're doing 100% additional critical damage, you're going to hit for double your damage. Often there's no info about the positioning. What's going on? Positioning? Are you talking about for these pictures for the teams? Yeah, I said that if you look at the ones that I put up there, I show you the positioning, I show you the team, final damage, and then I show you the gear they have on. Erich, Total Nan, Adolphus, Adri. Adri. You just got her thrown in there for turn meter reduction and slow speed?
It's not over yet.
That's a good team, man. That's a really good team. Let me try that team out. I like that. I like that a lot. So Isolde,
It's not over yet.
shields, decrease attack. Erich for damage. Total Nan for damage. We got Adolphus for shields and healing. And we got Adri to knock back the ultimate gauge and slow speed the boss. Okay.
It's not over yet.
For Horus, you might be able to. I don't know. We could try that out after we get done with this testing here. That sounds like a really nice team for 22 million, because all I see for 22 million is a lot of legendaries. I see somebody with Ghoul End, Jorn, no, Ghoul End, Durham, Karf, Adolphus, and Horus. These are still a lot of heroes that I'm going to have to level up. Like, if these work, it's a lot that I'm going to have to go and get experience for. Okay, I see somebody brought Tauren in on this fight. A lot of legendaries on that one. A lot of legendaries on this one for 20 million. Just a lot of legendaries, you know? I was watching the video. The guy went from 11 million to 22 million by swapping Isolde for Horus. Yeah, I think Horus has much better sustain. Like, he just is way better at staying alive. Tanky, he's much tankier and can last a few more rounds. Where Isolde will just fall apart, even with her decreased attack. It's 7 or 8 stacks, increased damage stacks. Horus just kind of holds out a little bit longer. Especially if you have him scrolled. What's going on? No attack down. Maybe not. Should work though. What's going on? I have witches. Yeah, witches. A lot of people have witches remains. There's a lot of free to play that don't, but any kind of lucky person or a little bit of a spender will have it. Yeah, well, if you do that, then she's not going to mitigate damage. She's not going to last long. Just because you have a huge HP pool, you still die. I mean, you die easily. So he did more damage here on the target dummy with the Emperor set. I've heard the Emperor set is pretty OP. But again, we don't know the attack of the target dummy. Maybe the target dummy's attack is low. Because we're doing damage here based on the difference of attack. And we've got a lot less critical damage too on this. So 100% chance to crit. What's his overall attack?
Hey, Outlander from afar. Care to join me for
4,513 attack. $139 critical damage. Wow, that's really low. I wish we could have got better gear. He would have really blown it away if we had better gear. If we had higher critical damage like the rest of these sets, he would have blown that away. He may not have been running Total Nan. I thought you said the group was Total Nan, Erich, Adolphus, Adri, and Isolde, which we'll throw out Isolde and we'll try Horus. We'll try both. I mean, we got the test server. We can do anything. would be useful for multiple areas. Which ones? Yeah, you can do one right here. Right there. If you look at that document, I've got it where the rares are useful in different areas. Each of the dungeons, each of the every single one of the dungeons, it shows you the rares that are best there. But I didn't do it for all heroes. Primarily the best one for all things, Garius, Adolphus, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, Horus is a beast, right? He's always done well for me. All throughout season 1, I was using Horus to even provoke when we go through higher levels of Fae. You know, just his ability to tank so well and then to provoke people. It's so good. I love using that guy. You need to attack down to keep Total Nan alive. Or we could make her tankier. I don't know. We'll just have to try out some different versions. Removed her because of the splash. What did they put in place of Tonal Nan then? We'll try out some different stuff. Using the rare burn guy instead. For 22 million? Are we talking 22 million, right? Okay, so this gear set seemed to do the most damage with... I wouldn't say lesser stats because he's got more attack, but I really feel like with this lower amount of critical damage, we weren't doing that well. Unfortunately, I can't get the exact gear rolls for all this gear. So my inventor set has 4,400 attack, 165 critical damage. My gambler set has 4,376 attack with 163 critical damage. And then the emperor set that I could make had 4,500 and 139 critical damage, which I think is a lot less critical damage. But still, we got more damage. Now, this is on the target dummy. Again, the target dummy. We got to go around and fight some things to see if with their higher attack, if it's going to be the same result. So let's go test that out really quick before we go start playing with the fire boss. Or even the other bosses. Before we go test out those continental bosses, where are we going to try this guy out? Where would it make sense to see like what damage he can do? The Vortex boss? Like if we put him on a team that can survive and just like cut the damage off at 5 minutes. Say we go over here and we put him in with the gear he's got on right now, right?
Why? What's the
Different numbers, but as long as there are close variation in these numbers, it's fine. Like there'll be different numbers on this boss, but is each of these sets going to give us very close numbers like we're getting right here on the dummy? And is Emperor going to give us a little higher numbers, or will it be Gambler, or will it be Inventor? That's what we need to find out. Without legendary artifacts? Okay, focus on teams with no witches remains, just with... Yeah, we could do that too. I mean, we could do both. There's no reason why we have to focus. The only artifact we need to bring in to do more damage most times is Witch's Remains. That's the only artifact I use. I don't use any other artifacts in my testing. But we can use one run with Witch's Remains and see if we hit 22 million or more. And then we can replace Witch's Remains with the Crown. That's it. I don't use other artifacts when I'm testing out these guys. I have not used any other legendary artifacts besides Witch's Remains to see what kind of damage we can get done on my testing. Now, on my teams, my personal teams that I got damage with, which I didn't show any kind of video on, I used other legendary artifacts to hit 22 million for my main account. I did. Yeah, I had to, man. I had to. It's tough. It's very, very, very hard. These bosses are no joke. That's Shinna. Okay, we're not going to bring in Shinna because we want to keep our testing the same. Or we can. It's not going to matter, actually. This is actually good. We'll have... no, her attack increase, is it varied? Is it 100% uptime on that attack increase? Let's just keep it simple. Keep it simple. We're on rank 4. I just need something else to keep us alive. Where is... Why am I in Frost? Here's what I want.
Allow me to come forth.
This lady. Okay, let's take away that.
blindness, I more easily see the truths of the world.
She only increases our resistance and defense. This first set is the Emperor set. Defense. Okay, let's see if we can last for 5 minutes. Just to the 15-minute mark and see what kind of damage he's got.
It's not over yet.
Blessings of starlight upon you. Allow me to come forth.
Test dummy.
It's not over yet.
Allow me to come forth. Blessings of starlight.
Hold on, I'm cleaning up the document while this is going on. I'll read chat in just a second. 2,400,000.
Allow me to come forth.
It's not over yet.
Allow me to come forth. Blessings of starlight upon you.
It's not over yet.
Allow me to come forth. Blessings of starlight upon you. Allow me to come forth.
It's not over yet.
Vortex.
Allow me to come forth. Blessings of starlight upon you.
It's not over yet.
Allow me to come forth. Allow me to come forth.
It's not over yet.
Blessings of starlight upon you.
Winter, Gambler.
Allow me to come forth.
Good, good. Okay, blood in. All the way down. There we go. All right, we're set. I'm set to put in the numbers. Let's see what we get. Did we already... nope, we're not at 15 minutes yet. We're still going. What's going on now with gloves? Oh, those gloves that you rolled, Nubkins? Hey, man, you can put them on whatever you want. Those are amazing gloves. It's insane for you to hit triple crit rate on critical damage gloves. With Emperor, will it start to drop? Because he's ramping up with... I think he just ramps up additional damage, not additional... Yeah, it's just total additional damage. He's not actually increasing his attack. So his attack is stable. Whatever his attack is, it's going to stay that way. This just increases his damage, so it won't make the gloves do less over time. Although, I don't think we're going to last for 15 minutes. Did he already die and have to get revived? Because that'll mess up our numbers. We don't know how often somebody's dying and being revived, and if they're being revived right away. This is going to kind of mess things up.
Allow me to come forth.
Did you see him fall over yet?
Allow me. Come forth. Blessings of starlight.
Is it 2 million? No, he didn't fall over yet. I mean, he's pretty close.
Come forth.
I think there might be a time soon to where he's going to be rebirthed, brought back right away.
Allow me to come forth.
Okay, we're almost there. If he can make it a couple more rotations. We might have to do it at 4 minutes. We could put in another healer with increased defense. I'm surprised he's not dying. He's getting so close to dying. Oh, he's getting increased defense actually because he's getting from Ardrith. She's healing him and giving him increased defense. All right, here we go. Here we go. He's at 2.7. He's going to die. Oh, right now. 2.79. We're just going to say that clean 2.8 right there. So this is with the Emperor set 2.801005. Okay. Emperor set. And we didn't do decrease attack on the boss. That might make it different because then we'd have more attack. I don't know if we're hitting the max cap for the additional damage or not. You know, it's hard to tell. When the wearer deals damage to the enemy with lower attack, the current damage will be increased based on the difference of the value of attack from the wearer to the one being attacked, right? Reaching 200% of the target. When the wearer's 200% of the target, the bonus damage will be increased by a maximum of 50%. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what percentage we're getting. Like, there's no buff on us telling us, hey, we're doing 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. There's just nothing to be able to tell for that. Let's get in additional.
Protect us, oh holy light. Want to know more about the great Bahamut?
Damage reduction, that'd be great. Increased defense, recovery. Okay, so she's not going to do anything to mess up our damage.
Why does the Why does the Holy Prayer Day always go by so fast?
No need to tread on eggshells. Even without my sight, I can yet sense your presence.
Okay, so we did Emperor. Now let's take him over to
but never discover the joys.
the Inventor. We'll save Gambler for last. Now this is the set that gives him the 8% additional attack every time he does his battle skill and his ultimate. And he should have 4 stacks up. I think like 99% of the time he should have them up. All right, let's see what we get. Anyone tested if Vakuk out heals Hexandra? She doesn't out heal her. Vakuk's heal isn't actually that strong. He does decrease attack on his battle skill. His healing is based off of the amount of debuffs he can remove. He can remove 2 debuffs max, and if he removes those 2, his healing is better. But overall, Hexandra does healing based off of the target's max HP, which is really good. And then she does more healing if it's low enough. What is it? If it's under like 50% or 30%, her passive is actually really strong. She's like an epic. But raw healing wise, he won't do more healing than her. I don't believe it. But he can hit the whole entire board though. You don't have to worry about positioning with him, and he can remove debuffs and decrease attack. So it's really strong. An old friend gave you an alt Raid Shadow Legends account. It's pretty decent. And I don't know how to go back. Yeah, Nupkins, I wouldn't go back either. There's just too much new going on and too much. Just too much going on. Too many new things that they've added. You've got to level up your heroes and do those red new mystical things to them. It's just way too much. I mean, you've always got to add more. You've got to invent more. You've got to add more to your game to make it interesting for the players that do know it well. But sometimes it just gets to be way too much. Like Path of Exile. People have told me many, many times to try out Path of Exile, And over, I don't know how many years it's been out. It's been out like 10 years. It's been out a long time. However long Path of Exile's been out, I've tried to go play it, I think, 2 or 3 different times. And you start on that little beach front and you run around, but there was just too much going on. Like looking at my gear, looking at the constellation, looking at everything else, it was just too much for me to want to get into. So I gave up very quickly. All right, don't let me forget 5 minutes here. He should have 4 stacks. Where's my top to this? He should have 4 stacks up, right? Yeah, he's got 4 on right now. Damage bonus. It does drop down to 3, I notice, every once in a while. But it goes back up to 4 and stays at 4 for quite a bit. There's his attack increase from himself. His ultimate. But still, see, it's been 4 this whole entire time. The reason why I want to know that the 4 is up. Oh, continue. The reason why I want to know 4 is up most of the time, so we're taking the full advantage of this set that we're using on him right now. Because if we bring somebody in like Shinna or any of the other ones that actually give a lot of ice crystals, we could get more, or we could have a more consistent uptime with 4 damage bonus. So we could get a little more damage. And I do believe that. I believe with somebody else in here, like Nord even, giving him more ice crystals, he would have 100% uptime on this 4 of the damage bonus. 8% each, right? 32% total damage bonus for the whole entire fight, instead of right now it keeps dropping down. Oh, we should have at least timed our block that decreased defense so we don't get that on us. Okay, our other damage was we're already beating that other previous damage. Our previous damage was 2.8 million. We're destroying it. We're destroying 2.8 million right now. Yeah, a lot more damage. And there, Engrave of Rot. Yeah, to remove the debuffs. I like Vakuk. He is great. But he doesn't have that battle skill heal. He only has decreased attack, which you'd be surprised, man. That battle skill heal that a lot of these healers have comes in clutch. That one person that's down low, that battle skill heal just kind of tops them off. Gets them back up so they're not in that danger zone to die. But that decreased attack is nice. Vakuk is great. I mean, if you can remove those debuffs where we need it, it works out well. All right, here we go. But Hexandra is still amazing. I love that we can make Hexandra like super tanky, and still she'll do all the amazing healing she does. And I use her as like a tank or an off tank a lot. Okay, so this is what the Inventor set. 3 point, man, she did 1 mil. Well, he did 1 million more. That's because the Vortex boss has such high attack compared to the target dummy. Now, if we did decrease attack a lot on the Vortex boss, would we get comparable numbers? All right, let's go to the Gambler set next.
They always complain the desolation of Northland, but never discover the joys.
we go. 5 minutes on the gambler set. Yeah, what do you guys think? If we do decrease attack, I'm sure we're going to increase, not 100% uptime on decrease attack, but just, you know, like we normally would. Bring in a decrease attack so we can decrease attack 3 of the moves. With a 10-second decrease attack, we can actually do it for the second ability, the third ability, and the last one. I think is what it was. Right? Because he doesn't actually do the ability. No, maybe it was his first ability. 1. He does that immediately. And then he does this one immediately, right? Yeah. So we can decrease attack for the first, second, and third ability. 3 abilities with 10 seconds. I think is what it is. Do you guys remember? What time we put here for the Vortex boss to get 3 attacks with a 10-second decrease attack? I thought it was this ability here because it's so late. You up for that? And this one hits immediately. Do you know that Jorn is cheating too? Jorn, the boss that we fight, the Continental boss. Like, take for example this boss. Watch when this boss does its third ability. When it does its third ability and time stops and it's doing its animation, like everything stops. Like watch this right here, right? This ability coming up. Everything stops. He's doing his animation and then he hits you and then everything proceeds forward. So if you had a decreased attack on him, if you have buffs up, all that kind of stuff, like all time stops. With Jorn, the Continental boss, when he flies up and does his ultimate, jumps up in the air, you can't attack him, time stops, debuffs on him, tick down. You can see like a decreased attack, decreased accuracy that I put up on him. It ticks down and falls off of him while he's wasting all that time jumping up in the air and flying around. He's cheating. The Continental boss is cheating. You normally just do the last and the first one? Yeah, but you can do 3. I know for a fact you can do 3. Because this one happens so late. The first one happens so late, you can do 1, 2, 3. These happen on time, but this one, maybe this one goes late too. Yeah, that one goes late too. So we could do the ultimate, this ability, and this ability. I guess those 3 would probably be the best, and then we block this one with our block debuffs or removal anyways. If you're doing the last one, then you should be able to do the last, first, and third. Because the last doesn't hit right at that time. You can time it to decrease attack then. And with 10 seconds, it'll take over all 3. 1, 2, 3. Easily. Damage-wise, I guess we're kind of on par with the Inventor set. Inventor did 3.8. Emperor did 2.8. Poor Emperor. But what if we put attack percentage gloves on him instead of crit rate? And I wonder, do we have critical damage? I don't think we have critical damage rune on the left-hand side, do we? If we have a critical damage rune with the Emperor set, obviously we'd want attack. I think we have attack. I'm hoping we had attack on all that. Attack, both attack runes. And nothing with critical damage main stat on the left-hand side. But I mean, Gambler should do well with Bleeding because he's doing a lot of multi-hits. A pretty insane amount. Which I kind of feel like all this information doesn't help me decide what set I want to use. It does make me feel okay with the sets I'm going to use, though, but it doesn't... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got to look at these numbers a little bit better. A little bit longer and play around with some gear for the Emperor that's based off of attack. Plus, we can get increased attack from a gear set. Whenever we do our debuffs, like my team has increased attack on. Let's see what would happen if we do that too. Increase attack. But then we're gonna have to apply a debuff like decreased defense. Oh man, it gets. What hero is there? A hero out there that will just give us increased attack? So I don't have to worry about applying debuffs. Okay, this is the same exact damage as the Inventor set. But again, only because he applies so many. Only because he hits so many times. All right, Vortex boss for Inventor did 3.8. For Gambler did 3.8, but this would not happen with Girthin. Girthin, we definitely want to do Inventor. It's going to do the most damage for her because she doesn't have as many multi-hits as Bledin does. Down here on this Emperor set, the Emperor set did better on the target dummy, but the target dummy, obviously we can tell, has low attack. Maybe like 0 attack, who knows. Really, really low attack. But when we fight the Vortex boss, one of our people are probably going to have a set on that whenever they apply a debuff, which would be our Witch's Remains, our decreased defense, we get increased attack to the team for, what was it, 15 seconds? 15% additional attack. That's going to increase the Emperor set for those times. And then if we do decreased attack, that's going to lower the attack of the Vortex boss by 50%. So at those times when we attack, it should be much more. Now, how to test that? I don't want to test it with Witch's Remains. I want to test it with somebody giving us increased attack and then us decreasing attack the boss. So the decreased attack part's easy. We just bring in whomever. Whoever will decrease attack. Actually, we get a guaranteed decreased attack with... Where's she at? This girl, right? We've got so many buffs up, we don't even need to worry about accuracy. She's always going to decrease attack. It can't be resisted as long as she has a buff on. All right, let's get some gear here. Sure. Again, we don't need accuracy, so I'm not going to worry about that. Start of the event, such a good champion. I actually have her leveled on my main account. I don't use her. She's too kind of RNG for me. I haven't used her in even like really where I could use her. I just don't feel like she the hitbox for the bosses that we fight, Ancient Battlefield, Grave of Rot, Vortex even, when she hits them, she doesn't heal anybody. She'll heal only the exact center person in the front on Ancient Battlefield and Grave of Rot and try to remove a debuff from them. That's it. That's the only one. And in Ancient Battlefield, I don't necessarily want that buff on for the boss to remove it, and then her, because she has a battle skill where she gets that increase enlightenment. So Ancient Battlefield, he'll remove it and get that increased attack. She would be fine just to get attack penalty up, but by the time I want to cast attack penalty, he's doing his ultimate. So I want it right before that ultimate. If I have attack penalty, then I need really good accuracy with her because I can't rely on this enlightenment. She's not healing anybody. She doesn't do crazy damage. I don't know. I feel like she's kind of too much of a jack of all trades, and it's not even a jack of all trades because it's so random. What she does is just way too random. Around it, You have 2 positions around it. You have tons of positions around the whole entire... I mean, we've got this many positions around this whole boss, but the way that they have it coded, she won't heal anybody. Even though melee can attack this boss, she heals no one. With Grave of Rot, you can have this many people attack Grave of Rot. You could actually have everybody attack Grave of Rot. You could even have these 3 attack Grave of Rot. Only this person is going to be healed in Grave of Rot. Same thing with Ancient Battle. Any kind of big target, it doesn't calculate, even though melee can hit them, that's like melee, that they're in range. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of her. I scrolled her myself on my main account. I've used her. I've tried to use her quite a bit, but she doesn't do enough damage to warrant her being a damage dealer. She doesn't do enough healing, like hardly ever. And then her decreased attack is nice, but that's it. So she's not useless, but I don't know. Okay, if I bring her in, I've got too much decreased attack up. Now, is there anybody that can give us an increased attack of 15%? Who can do that? And a different affinity. I don't want to go to a five team affinity. Look at a hero.
A life worse than death is my forte.
Buff. Attack up. Oh, he's already getting an increased attack on himself when he does his ultimate. If you're running double melee, will she heal the damage dealer? I mean, if you put the damage dealer as the one tanking the hits, it has to be the person immediately tanking the boss. You weird, you use her in AB and it doesn't work without? Yeah, I haven't noticed that she heals just like the DPS. She'll just heal the person that's immediately in front of like who your main tank is, but not the DPS.
Don't worry, I'll help.
40% for Radiant. Do we have anybody that will just kind of increase attack? He's only going to do rally. 15% increased attack. This will do critical damage too, though, so I don't want to do that. We don't really have anybody that can just increase attack for our team, right? That's why we have the gear set. Well, I could use the gear set. I could just use a different... I could just use a poisoner. Let's go with... Where is he? Poison? My eyes aren't working. Where yeah, this guy does poison. A little bit more than we're going to actually... He's going to be implying quite a bit. Dinch. Get this guy a little bit of accuracy, and we got to get him the gears that gives us the gear set that gives us the 15%. Okay. No accuracy there. Nice. No accuracy. Okay, guys, come on. Can I get at least one hit? There we go. $295. That's enough. Okay, so we didn't get a 5-team bonus. I didn't want to put in another Radiant or Frost to get a 5-team bonus, so we'll keep his damage kind of what it would be before. All we're doing is giving him an additional 15% chance to attack. We're doing decreased attack on the boss. And then let's see if we give her a little more accuracy too.
Let's take turns reciting the names of the grand wizards in the Encyclopedia of Adynthia, appendix included.
Which one is for Radiant? I just want this for accuracy. 32 accuracy? Okay. Good enough. All right. Wait. What set does he have the set on? No, he doesn't.
They always complain the desolation of Northland, but never discover the joys.
Where's his other set? We have Gambler, Inventor, and what was the other set we had on him? We didn't save it? We had to save it. We've been playing it. Well, shit. What was the other? The other set was the, Yo, Demon. What's going on? Demon Angel. What's happening, buddy? How you doing today? The Emperor set. Did we not save the Emperor set we had on him? We got a lot of stuff leveled up. Holy crap. I mean, I've got the final stats for the Emperor set here. I know it was a lot of crit rate. I can tell you that. We had the highest amount of crit rate on him because we needed a lot of crit rate. I don't know. And I think we used attack percentage on him. 139. This is it. Okay.
Hey, Outlander from afar. Care to join me for a drink?
All right, there we go. So now we were testing. Okay, we're testing this set. 4,513, 139, 100%. Yeah, this is it. What'd I miss? What's up, buddy? Twin, good to see you, bud. Pulled all the Thunder heroes today. You pulled all the Dauntless heroes today, or all the Thunderbolt? You pulled all the Thunderbolt ones? Yeah, I'm not real happy with the Thunderbolt ones. Living the dream, my friend. Yeah, always. Me too, man. I'm glad you're able to live the dream. It is the best. Relax, play some games, enjoy your time, friends and family. Okay, I think this is it. We're going to do decrease attack, and we're going to get it into increase attack. Plus, we're getting increase attack from his ultimate. And that's it. We're not getting any kind of 5-person bonus, nothing additional. We're just trying to see if this will ramp up with that decrease attack up once... What's her name? Rose? Once Rose applies it. Go ahead, Rose. Apply that. Okay, decrease attack is up. We're getting an increase attack from our debuffs. There it is, 15% additional. Which I even have this on my Frost Blast, Ice Blast team. I've got this gear set to get the 15% additional attack. But now we're going to have to run... We're going to have to run the other 2 gear sets for 5 minutes as well because we're getting this 15% additional attack. The decrease attack won't matter for the other 2 gear sets, but increase attack will. All the Thunderbolt ones, including the exclusive. Now, the exclusive is pretty sweet. I don't like how Thunderbolts function. The actual electrocute we need to get between like 2 different enemies, but I do like the exclusive. The exclusive can do some serious damage just on his own, and he can even do electrocute kind of on his own too. It is really good to have somebody else in there to do electrocute so he can ramp up to that overload recharge thing that he does before he does his ultimate, get that higher. But he doesn't have to. Even solo, he was doing really well. I wouldn't say like crazy well. Acadius was doing the best solo. But AoE wise and just damage wise, Perk was doing pretty good numbers. I'm looking at them right now in the spreadsheet.
Blessings of starlight upon you.
but still nothing you really need to use. Like, I don't know where you're going to use them though, right? Where is anybody using electrocute? Or any of those electrocute teams at all? Is anybody using them? I don't feel like that they don't function well enough. There's something wrong with trying to get electrocute up on multiple targets. And if you're doing like just one target, electrocute does hardly nothing against just one solo target. It's kind of useless then, like really useless. Takes too much to get them going, right? So where would we use them? I guess, you know, it's like all these heroes that aren't that useful. We say you could use it in goblins, but we can use anything in goblins. So why would we go level up these brand new heroes, these gimmick heroes that are supposed to be awesome on the in-game dragon? What? Why? Oh, because it has 3 parts. We don't have the dragon anymore. The in-game's going to be this new lobster guy. Even at the in-game dragon, putting up, and here's the problem, actually putting up executes, getting up executes, because the epics hardly apply it, the rares don't apply it, like nobody applies it. The lizard applies it really well. The new lizard that came with the Thunderbolt guys, he applies a lot of executes. If we could get execute up on 3 different parts of a dragon, even though we're gonna have the big like mechanical lobster as our end game, I don't know how he's gonna function, but even then it's not gonna be well. And then he's gonna do AoE damage, so yeah, he's gonna hit all 3 parts. If there's 3 parts this time, maybe there's gonna be 4 parts and it'd be even better. I don't know how the end game's gonna be, because the new mechanical lobster is gonna definitely be different than the dragon we fought. But yes, AoE damage is nice there, and it should be good. But we fight that thing for 4 days, 4 or 5 days. So you're talking about leveling up brand new heroes that we don't use the entire season because they're pretty much garbage. There's way better options with lower rarity even. And we're going to level up and use these guys for like 4 or 5 days, and the boss is going to die, and then we wait for the end of the season. Man, I don't know. I don't know how the design team is, you know? Books and stuff? Yeah, books, level up, experience, all that kind of stuff. Yo, Good Moss, what's happening? Oh, I do right now. I did just open up the stream just for a second. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate that. I heard it too. Just when you said that, I heard it. All right, back to testing. We're almost at 5 minutes. And with all this increase, with this 15% additional attack increase, we are still, like, we don't even need to go put the gear on, we don't need to put this gear on anybody else. We don't need to rerun the other 2 sets with this 15% additional attack, because this guy isn't even going to get the damage they did with having 15% additional attack up some of the times, because all these debuffs that are going up, maybe even 100% of the time, because there's a lot of debuffs going up. Nope, he doesn't have it up now. He's got his ultimate 20% attack. There's the 15. I would say it's up pretty often because we're applying a lot of poisons, so it should be up pretty often. Wow, this is pretty sad. Maybe we need better attack overall. Like, instead of crit rate gloves, maybe we need attack percentage gloves. I'm surprised it's so low. All right, 5 minutes. $3,162,540. Really surprised with this. All right, let's look at this. All right, so with the Inventor set, we got 3.8 million on the 4th Vortex boss. With the Gambler set, we got 3.8 million with Bledin because he's hitting so many times. And then with the Emperor set, we got 2.8 million. Let me check that gear. What kind of gear do we have on here? We do have attack. Okay, we got attack there and attack here. Okay, good. Attack percentage there. Crit rate. And then we've got attack percentage. So he's got high attack. I mean, we're at 4,500 attack. That's good attack. 4,500 attack. Low critical damage, though. So I could understand why his damage would be lower. It could be it. I mean, it could be this lowest critical damage. The critical damage is 25% less than the other two. That's a lot over a 5-minute boss fight. But we did give him increased attack of 15%, which none of the other two had, to see if we would take advantage of the Emperor's set. Like get our damage up higher from the difference of our attack to the boss's attack. And we gave it decreased attack to see if we would increase that. And we only went up to 3.1, which I guarantee would be 3.8 if we had that additional critical damage in there. I just can't find gear set to match the other two in the Emperor set. I can't. Maybe later on I'll look around and make some gear that will match it. Use them in Faye's Tower as well, Chimera. You use them now in Faye. We use everything in Faye and Tower, but will you use them in later stages of Faye and Tower? I agree with you. Right now, I'm using my burn guys like Durham and Karf in the Tower, but not Faye. Later on in Faye, I'm not going to be able to use those gimmicky heroes just to try to get up burns, just to try to do AoE damage. Like you know from last season, once you get up to harder floors of Faye to where it really matters, you just can't bring in heroes just to do damage. It doesn't work like that. You got to have an insane team to be able to say, okay, I'm just going to come in there and do AoE burn or AoE Thunderbolt and just try to AoE the whole entire thing down. I don't know. I guess if you had the right exclusive, the right legendary artifacts, you could definitely do some serious AoE damage and blow it up. If you got enough decrease, which remains up beforehand, like say you did Varesh or Karf first, you got Witch's Remains up on everyone, and then you blew it up with Acadius, the whole entire board, maybe. But it does get much harder. And normal, I would say 95% of the player base is going to have to go to a team that's different. Because it gets really hard. But right now we're using anything. I mean, anything would work as DPS, honestly, to get through Faye and to get through Pillars that I've noticed. Because I just put anything in there, damage done, tank, healing, and I've been just tearing through it. It's been simple. So again, I just don't believe in those heroes yet. But I think I'm going to pass. Yeah, they're not good for the Continental bosses, right? Especially Electrocute, because there's not multiple targets. There's only one target, and we've seen that single target targets for Electrocute just won't do a lot of damage. I have Iola and Tamara in the team for control as well. Can you burn? Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see, Chimera. Let me know when you get higher up. Let me know when you get to like the floor. I don't know, floor 40 is when it got harder last season. So when we get up to floor 40 and above, let me know how that's, if it's still as easy to do. Like, are you blowing them up fast enough that you don't have to worry about what you're fighting? You just go in there and you still, you do Iola, Tamar, stagger your stuns, and then you just blow them up. Yeah, let me know if it's that easy still. Could be, because now we do have more heroes that hit the whole entire board, so that's good. We can get back there and take out those DPS ones. The ones that would give us issues. We might be able to do that. Yeah, maybe. So Emperors is not looking great, which is strange because I could swear some top end teams are using Emperor nonstop. And even if Emperor does match Gambler or Inventor with this little bit more critical damage, what is the point? So what gear is the best gear? I feel like for multi-hit, because Bloodin has so many multi-hits, it doesn't matter. You can go with Gambler or Inventor for Ice Blast. But now this has been Ice Blast only. What about non-Ice Blast? If they have a lot of multiple hits, I would go with Gambler if they're non-Ice Blast. If they don't have a lot of multiple hits, I would go with Inventor, even if it's somebody like Sigrid, probably. Or maybe Emperor in PvP. Man, I just don't know. I don't know how Emperor, because Emperor did so well against the target dummy, but the target dummy has no attack. Must have extremely low attack. Yeah, can anybody break any of this down for me and let me know what you think of the gear sets? Because I just don't know what to think, man. It's all so confusing. If they have low attack, we have higher attack, we use Emperor. Okay. But how do we know that all the time? If we have a lot of multi-hits, we use Gambler. If we don't have a lot of multi-hits, we don't know their attack, we use Inventor. And we definitely use Inventor if we have Ice Blast because we're doing our battle skill over and over. That's the safest. Did you like the gear sets, the damage gear sets better last season? What do we have last season? Yeah, last season was nice because we got that, was it 30% increased damage whenever we did our ultimate from the Platinum Knight set? I think the Platinum Knight set just gave us a flat 30% additional damage on our ultimate along with 10 seconds of 30% additional damage, which was really strong. And then we had the Gambler set, and then we had what other set was last season? We had something else that I can't even remember what it does. Something else. Emperor for Goblin, maybe? The other one was garbage. Oh, the ignore defense one. Yeah, we didn't really use the ignore defense one. Some people tried to use the ignore defense one when we were fighting the in-game dragon, especially when it dropped under 50% defense, but I didn't really see it necessary. Well, I did like Platinum Knight. That's for sure. Because Platinum Knight is far better than Inventor, because Inventor, we got to do a battle skill or your ultimate to get almost to the same damage that we got from Platinum Knight right away. I don't know. It's I feel like it's a bust for me on what I use. I feel like I can use anything now, which is pretty good, I guess. I guess. This isn't my main, but I thought that these guys were using, they're using Inventor set. Yeah, I guess everybody's just using Inventor set, but I thought for sure somebody else was using the Emperor set. I see Inventor all on these heroes. Okay, we're getting increased attack with Witch's Remains. Okay, that makes sense, right? I have Witch's Remains. I have this gear set to get 15% additional attack on my Shinna because she's applying decrease. She's using Witch's Remains and applying decreased defense. So that will help out the rest of my team. It'll help my Girth to do more damage. But it looks like everybody else is using Inventor here. I'd have to check on my main account. I have to check the bosses on my main account. Check on your accounts too and look at your top end guys. Are they using Inventor, Gambler, or Emperor on their DPS? Emperor is the season's Platinum Knight. It is, but it just doesn't ramp up as quickly. Like Platinum Knight, when you do, right before you do your ultimate, because it contributes to your ultimate, you do 30% additional damage. And then for 10 seconds. So I feel like Platinum Knight is kind of better in that sense for a lot of other heroes. Not better for Ice Blast guys, but better for the normal units, whereas now we've got to build it up. We get that 8% every time, but it only lasts for like what, 15 seconds? 5 inspired heroes. Yeah, on my server anyway. Does it show that for your server too? Let me log into my main account and check there. because I kind of want to know definitively what everybody is using and what, from our testing here, what makes sense. So that would explain the inventor. I don't think Emperor does well on the PvE boss. Yeah, because they have high attack, right? They must have really high attack, and even when we do decrease attack, it didn't make a difference. And we did that additional increase attack. It just didn't seem... Well, it's not that it didn't seem. We just didn't get the damage. Maybe we could get that damage, but we'd have to definitely have the increase attack, decrease attack up, and then have good attack ourselves. Let me check here. This is my main account. What about attack speed? Rank 78. I could swear Arslan had... No, he's got Inventor on too. Okay, so Inventor. Inventor. Emperor. Inventor. Okay, yep. Yeah, I guess everybody does have Inventor on. Yeah, you can tell by that little hat with the feather and that gun. Well, the hat with the feather, right? He's got 2 heroes giving him increased attack of 15%. Rotating, I guess. For 10 seconds. Okay, this might be different because he's exploding poisons with this. Or he's just using what he's got. But yeah, I think Inventor is going to be the way to go. Does the set have the same attack speed, the same gems? What do you mean? Yeah, the sets, the only different attack speed would be the actual set. Some sets have 2 pieces where they give you additional attack speed. The only way to get additional attack speed from that is different runes. But the guy we were testing had the same runes the whole entire time. We didn't switch out runes. How do we do with our alliance duel? Attack and defense failed. Okay. This is pretty nice though. By the end of last season, every week we were getting a legendary scroll. Now I don't know how hard it's going to be to do well this season, since they merged us with a server that had already played season 0. So they have 2 seasons on us. Well, 1 additional season over us. So there's a lot of whales here. Or at least, not even just the whales. There's a lot of people that played for 2 full seasons when we only played for 1. Which isn't very cool. They should never merge a server like that. Okay, I got to do the Vortex boss. So it's all, I guess it is all about Inventor. It looks like it. Oh, twins, the top one is yours? Oh, you said the top one on yours. Top one on mine is Gambler on Tharvel with Inventor. Oh, you're just saying the top one on yours. Twin, where are you at? Did you obviously attacked yesterday. Where what did you place? Oh, top on his server. Okay. Top on his server. I thought he was on my server. I bet everybody's doing the same team, right? It's like everybody's got the same team. It just all comes down to gear that we've currently got farmed and artifacts. Like if you have legendary artifacts. Especially if you have a legendary artifact for her to increase her damage, it's going to help out a lot. Because she's doing like 60% of my damage. 57% of my damage. Let's see what Ivy Lee's doing. Ivy Lee's got girth. Same thing. Inventor set, of course. This is the same team as mine, right? Yeah. Nice. She got a couple more million than I got. Same gear. Same gear. Pretty much. Same gear. Yep. Same artifacts. And same artifacts. See, I don't have this this extra healing gear on my girl, though. Same artifacts. Nice. I feel like that's most of the teams, you know? No way I'm going to go touch the top of the season. Oh, I thought you were up there. Twin, I thought you were like had some awesome gear and we're all the way up there. All right, so I'm going to have to say that, yeah, the Inventor's set is really it. If you have somebody from what we've seen that does an insane amount of hits, like you were just talking about, Twin, with your Tharvel, and Thar hits, you know, as long as you have crit rate on him, he hits a crazy number of times on his ultimate. Like, how many times do you think he hits on his ultimate? Like, an insane amount, right? He's just sitting there going pew, 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 like so many hits. I could see that. I could see where you would use a gambler set on him. Though I would like to test to see, what am I talking about? I have a test server. I've chased Thar so many times in the previous season because I love that he's ranged. I love that he does his skills are so cool. I've wanted to get him. We've tried to go after him with those the different bless summons and stuff, but we weren't lucky enough to get him. Even with the increased chance to get him, we just couldn't do it on my main account. I might have had like 70 dice or I don't know, enough to get 2 guaranteed the legendaries, and we just didn't have any luck. So yeah, I guess it looks like Inventor set is the way to go. The Emperor set just is falling short unless you fight something that just has no attack. And then I could see there with the target dummy, like if we go up against somebody with the Emperor set in Arena and they're a healer or they're a tank, I guess, then the Emperor set might be able to splash some more damage on them. But with this 2 damage being so close, even with somebody, this is the test dummy, right? These 3 are the test dummy. Even with a test dummy, why would I, even in Arena, use the Emperor set when I can just use Inventor and I'll still get good damage on everyone then? Doesn't matter if they have high attack or low attack. I'm getting good damage on everyone. Is basically, I guess, what I would say. Something like that. All right, guys, we've been on for 2 hours. I'm going to call it a short day. I've got some stuff to take care of. I'm going to do some YouTube videos. Are there any ideas of YouTube videos that you guys want to see? Like other testing as well? Can you give me some ideas of anything that you can think of that you've been wanting to see? I've got an unkillable team that I want to set up to do a YouTube video for with Ogok and Zephy just to show the timing. I want to do some more testing with the new girl that we're all going to get, Ardrith, and show some fun stuff with Ardrith in a video with Furbath and other people who have really cool battle skills that she's going to empower them to do their battle skill pretty much every 5 seconds, especially if they're the tank. Best ways to manage food is free to play? What do you mean manage food is free to play? That's free to play. You should be able to go around and pick up food like crazy. You should be able to go and steal milk. Well, not you should be. You should be stealing milk every day over here from this guy. You should be going to pick some apples if you need to. That way you have milk and apples. You can do the 20% additional resistance, 20%, not 20%, 20 resistance, 20 accuracy. You should be able to make that yogurt. If you come over here and steal from him every single day, you can get 12 yak milk. Pretty easy. You have a little bit of dexterity to help you out. 12 yak milk every day. You can go get some apples every day. You can buy some beast meat. If you need to buy anything down here and what is it? This area? Yeah, this dragon. This place at the market, you can buy like 100 food of so many different things. But if you're free to play, maybe you don't want to buy it, but I would. It's pretty easy to go and buy the food you need to make for your recipes, right? To get the additional attack whenever you need it, to get your additional defense, to get your resistance and your accuracy. And that's what I use the most. Like I'll use something with 15% attack or 10% attack, 15 accuracy. I'll use the 20 resistance, 20 accuracy food a lot. This is my main. Let's see what kind of food I have. And then all the recipes you can find right here. Well, most of them. I need to add some of the new one. 99% of the recipes you can find right there on that document. But there are only a few that I actually use. Now, 10% defense along with accuracy is a really good one too. I feel like that's a strong one that I've used quite a bit to get through some content because defense is always, always good. So here's one with 10% attack, 15 accuracy. Here's the one with 10% defense, 15 accuracy. There's 20-20. I think this one gets used quite a bit for me. And those are kind of like the only three I use the most. Attack accuracy, defense accuracy, and then attack and then accuracy and resistance. That's it. I really don't bother with a lot of this other stuff. Keeps it kind of simple. When I need to survive and land my debuffs, I do the defense one. When I know I can blow through it, I use the attack one. And then when I need both resistance and accuracy, I use that one. Oh, you're talking about bread for stamina? Best ways to manage food. Oh, you're talking about bread. Okay. Best ways to manage that? There is no way to manage that. You spin your bread every day. You go over and hit goblins because you need to level up. It's going to be different per account. If you need to make some new heroes, you need to hit goblin. If you need to rank them up, you need to hit the domains. If you see an event pop up, go over and do that event because the event's going to give you bread for doing it. And it's going to give you a lot of good resources. Like you need this solvent to do your elemental advantage. You're going to get this legendary gear. I mean, there's not really... I figure it's pretty easy. I don't think there's a lot to managing your bread. There's an event. You hit that event every day until it's done. If you need to level up some heroes, you level up heroes. And that's really it. And then if you ever get any extra stamina, you go farm some gear somewhere where you're missing some runes or you're missing some whatever kind of gear you're looking for. That's basically it. If you're struggling in goblins, yeah, the 13% one can help you if you're struggling in goblins, but you need the new flying fish for that. And those flying fish are like groups of 6. They sell for 6 at maybe 4 different places in the new area. Where is it? Where's the flying fish one? What's it look like? This one? Yeah, 13% additional attack. But the 10% additional attack is really easy to make with beast meat. But if you do need that 13% more, you can get the flying fish along with 1 beast meat and you can make it. It's just much harder to get this flying fish. Like much, much harder. My heroes are low and you have a few of them. That's the free-to-play life, man. That's you got to manage all that stuff, but there's no way to do anything special with bread. You don't get any additional bread except for the events. You get them from doing your here. You know, whenever we get a new adventure rank, you'll get some more. So you'll just be surprised like I am. Like when I hit that new adventure rank, I'm like, oh, cool, some new bread. So you just stay on top of doing all your daily stuff. You know, you do your commissions, you do your daily stuff, you get your bread. If you want to spend some of this to get a little additional bread, you can. But if you're free to play, I don't know. It's up to you. I need to use my bread. I'm capped out. It's up to you whether you want to come in here and spend some. I would not do passes for, like, if you're a true free to play, I would not do past the first one. Only because I would then be saving all of my gems to get gold dice. Especially if you don't have a really good roster. I would just be saving this all the time, which means you need to do the Vortex boss every day with a good alliance to make sure the whole entire alliance is completing this out so you can get all these nice gems every day because it's all going to add up. And then every season you'll slowly build up your roster, get better. Better and better. But if you're not playing Dragonheir Silent Gods, come and join us down below. The link is down there. Come over to my Discord too. The Discord's down below. Tomorrow we'll test out. Tomorrow I'll be back same time. We'll test out some more bosses. And if you have some bosses, join our Discord. Everybody's putting up teams for the bosses over in our Discord. I hope everybody is. I say everybody is, but I haven't looked this morning to see who's really putting up a lot of teams over here. We've got Urzilis. People are adding stuff in here and talking about it. We've got Toll War, some teams that people are adding in here, and they're showing their gear, they're showing their placement, and they're showing their final damage. What'd they get? Tarvel's in here? Okay. Nathaniel. I'm assuming that's a Nathaniel along with Furbath, we've got Iola, Nimbus, and then we've got the real DPSer. I bet Tarvel did like an insane amount of damage for this whole entire team. 68%. 31 though. Damn, 31. Look at that. 31 million. Man, I wish I had Tarvel. I don't know who we'd use in place of him. It's pretty good. I'm gonna have to look into a team to do damage over here on this lightning one. Because I feel like Tall War isn't as bad as people think. Alton, yeah, we're using all of our Frost Blast, Ice Blast people for that. Jorn, we're using our like Radiant Legendaries. I don't know about low level Radiants. We need to work on those. Locinia, I haven't had a good team to do well there for myself. I don't have any powerful poison heroes on my main account to do well here. So I'm just going to have to suck it up and do it like later on in the weeks when I'm forced to attack all the bosses. I'm going to have to do some low numbers. But remember, we don't have to do high all the time. We just have to do enough just to get Ardrith. And to get Ardrith, you can summon 60 gold dice and then get, what was it, 7 million on each of these bosses. And then you could even do 4 bosses at 3 million as long as you summon 60 dice. If you summon 40 dice, you need to do 11 million, right? 11 million on all the bosses. There's like 2 bosses you could get 7 million on, and then that would be with 40 gold dice. Then you would get her. But don't expect to get 22 million and just 22 million on everything. I'm not even going to get 22 million with my main account on all these bosses. I just don't have the proper heroes to bust out like 22 million on some of them. And then I've got to go level up right now a whole bunch of experience and get the domain rank up material we need to rank them up. So it's going to be, it's a struggle, right? The continued struggle. Bosses yet? Just been farming gear? Yeah, you're waiting till the end of the week? Well, we do have till the end of the week, so. But don't forget, Chimera, that you got to attack 3 this week. But again, if you've done enough summons, all you have to do is get 11 million. If you've done a crazy amount of summons, like 60, all you have to do is get 7 million. So with that, you could pretty much do it with a lot of easy heroes. But you might have to level up somebody. So make sure you got enough experience by the end of the week and enough rank up material to be able to level those up. All right, guys, I'm out. Have a great, the rest of your wonderful day. Have a good one, and I will see you all tomorrow, same exact time, and we'll go hit some of those bosses now that we know what gear to really equip them with, and then we'll do a video on the gear tonight. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, bud. Have a good one. You too. Midnight.